Hello and welcome back to Open. Don't forget to get social with us. Tweet us at BronxNet TV and like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. On Saturday, August 26th, hop on board Swale, a floating forest on top of a barge in the Bronx River for It's My Park Day. Different activities are scheduled for throughout the day to engage the community, to give back to their local parks. Joining us now, please welcome Curator and Program Director at Swale, Amanda McDonald Crowley, along with Senior Outreach Coordinator at Partnership for Parks, Linda Bonilla. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank
It's our
you for having
pleasure.
us.
Great to meet you guys.
Gorgeous to meet you too.
Always good that you get to have the sports guy kind of talk about It's My Park
Green
Day, right?
spaces,
A
yeah.
bit of art and green space, yeah.
So Amanda, can you tell us a little bit about the program and what makes it so unique?
Yeah. So Swale is an art project by Mary Mattingly, who'll also be joining us on Swale tomorrow. She's actually flying in right at the moment. She's probably just got on a plane. It's a public art project, but it's also a floating food forest. And at the moment we're docked on the Bronx River at Concrete Plant Park. It's an artwork that is also a provocation to help us think differently about how food exists in our cities, what it might look like if we could grow food in public spaces.
Amazing.
That's currently not legal, so we took that idea to the waterways, because the waterways are in some ways our last true commons. Or that's how Mary describes it. So yeah, we're on the water, but having great conversations about what it might look like if public parks also grew food.
Well, that leads me to my next question. Why the shipping barge? Would that be the reason?
That would be exactly the
Exactly
reason.
the
Yeah,
reason.
when Mary actually was in Concrete Plant Park on another project she worked on several years ago, and people were saying, well, why don't we grow food in our public parks? And she discovered it wasn't currently legal to do that in New York. Legislation has changed in some cities in America, and in fact the Parks Department have already made some steps to use Concrete Plant Park to beta test that idea. So we're working also with the Parks Department, with Bronx River Alliance, with Youth Ministries for Peace and Justice, and a lot of local organisations to also see what it might look like in the park just gradually. But at the moment people can come on board Swale, and our peaches are ripe this weekend. I can see that, so I'm very excited for that.
Since I'm slimmer these days, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Tell us a little bit more about the fruits and veggies that are on this project.
Yeah. Well, we use permaculture principles
Okay.
in the way that we plant, which means that instead of seeing rows of vegetables, everything's mixed like a food forest. And so it's much more like foraging for food. We do have a lot of fruit trees on board. We've got about 9 apple trees on board, I think it is.
Yes.
We have persimmon, we have peaches, we have plums. We also grow a lot of berries. We've got strawberries and
So
raspberries.
big variety.
Big variety.
Huge
blueberries.
variety. And also
And it's all scattered with a lot of herbs and medicinal plants too. So really it's like foraging.
So now with the partnership, Linda, what is It's My Park Day?
Sure. Well, the Swale is actually their grantee of Partnerships for Parks, which is a public-private program within New York City Parks and the City Parks Foundation. And as the senior OC, I covered Community Boards 2, 7, 8, 9. The Swale, it's year 2 of the Swale docked at Concrete Plant Park. And because they've made such an impact last year, it literally extended the park. Concrete Plant Park, for people that don't know it, familiar, it's right off the 6 train coming uptown off of Whitlock. And all you see is these factory structures or these concrete structures. That's actually the park itself. And now with the Swale docked, it's extended it into like a green space. And it offers, It's My Park Day is a chance for community members and Bronxites from all districts to come and help activate and amplify this space. It'll be a 1 to 7, an event. We'll be doing like traditional cleanups with garbage, and then as well complementing with the programs that the Swale has on board that really offers an invitation to practice foraging and greening and continuing that trend of foraging and parks. Concrete Plant Park is a paradigm with this foodway initiative, and I feel that if it goes well, we can also stop seeing the food deserts that we currently experience in many of the neighborhoods throughout the Bronx.
Well, a great location, and it seems like the partnership is really working well together. I mean, talk more about the success that you guys have had so far.
Oh, sure. Well, being year 2, the Swale has a fan. It's a great collaboration and a coalition of community partners such as the Point CDC, Youth Ministries for Peace and Justice, the Bronx River Alliance, And with their programming, as well as Partnerships of Parks programming, we offer a hybrid of a non-traditional, whereas Concrete Plant Park was seen as just a place to fry and just sit and fry because there's literally hardly any shade, but now it's being converted into a place to have public programming, activities like Shape Up, movie nights, foraging, as well as canoeing from one part of the Bronx River to the other, from Concrete Plant to Hunts Point Riverside to Shoelace. It's just an amazing activation of this green space.
And tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a bit of seed saving, and one of our Swale collaborators, Kat, is going to be doing some drawing workshops with me.
Yes.
We've got Bronx artist Sahara Briscoe coming out to do a community weaving project.
So many things going on.
Right.
Lucia Hernandez, who actually makes honey in the Bronx in Hunts Point, is going to be
Yes.
bringing some of her honey by. So yeah, it'll be a really exciting
huge
day of
community
art,
collaboration.
activity, and
And
as
cleanups.
combined with
You know, what I always like to ask when we have community
Stewardship.
people come on the show, what is the most gratifying aspect of working with a project like this for both of you?
I think breaking the traditional mold of what a park and open space can be to locals. I mean, they don't have to travel downtown. It's right there. They could just walk across the street, take a bus, take the train. There are myriad parks in the Bronx that have uniqueness, but Concrete Plant just happens to have that extra neatness because of the Swale being docked and all the programming that's being produced to activate and sustain and build a group.
And absolutely, for me, it's seeing how people then begin to activate their own parks. One of the most exciting things for me last weekend was young people coming on board and picking fruits and vegetables. I actually had one young woman come on board and specifically ask for a daylily flower because that's what she wanted to eat. Now,
And she
I
could eat
didn't
it.
even know until last year that a daylily flower was an edible flower, and here I've got 8-year-olds in the Bronx asking after one specifically.
You guys have certainly really engaged the people of the borough, which is very exciting.
Thank you.
So before we let you go again, just plug when and where the event is
Sure.
taking place. One more time.
Sure, it's going to happen tomorrow, rain or shine. Actually, I see only sun in the forecast. 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Concrete Plant Park off the 6 train line at Whitlock, Westchester Avenue in Whitlock.
Tremendous. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Once again, be sure to come out on Saturday, August 26th for It's My Park Day from 1 to 7 at Concrete Plant Park, located along the Bronx River between Westchester Avenue and Bruckner Boulevard. Thank you so much for coming on the show again.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes,
See you tomorrow. I hope so.
Coming up, we will sit down with the founder of Team DeMarco Fitness and learn about their upcoming fitness expo. So stay tuned. More Open coming back after this.